So the gizzard forms a connectivity between the crop and the midgut. The heart is differentiated into funnel-shaped chambers with ostia on either sides. In the hindgut, again it is divided into three important parts, that is the ileum, the colon and the rectum. Nervous system of cockroach is spread throughout the body. As I told you, right from the head, it extends up to the abdomen. It is present throughout the body. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to today's session on chapter 7, that is structural organization in animals. I'm Dr. Divya, biology faculty, Vidyashram Pre-University College, Mysore, Temple of Excellence. So in the previous session, we had studied about the morphology of cockroach, wherein we studied the different body parts of the cockroach belonging to the head, the thorax and the abdomen region. Today, we shall study the anatomy, that is the internal structure of the cockroach, and what are the different body parts that are present in cockroach with respect to the alimentary canal, the digestive system, the excretory system, and so on. So let us start studying the anatomy of cockroach, wherein first we shall study about the alimentary canal of the cockroach. So right from the mouth to the anterior part of the cockroach where the food particles move in, that forms the alimentary canal. So the cockroach mouth first starts with the pharynx. So the alimentary canal begins with the pharynx, and right on the on the lateral sides of the pharynx, or on either side of the pharynx, is present the salivary gland, which secretes the saliva, and those secreted saliva is stored in a salivary reservoir. So why is saliva important is because the saliva helps in moistening the food, and also it helps in partial digestion of the food inside the mouth itself. Like how in human beings also, when we chew the food, the saliva gets secreted. It not only keeps the mouth moist, but also it moistens the food, so that the food, and also partial digestion of the food, so that it can easily enter through the esophagus and then move on into the stomach. So just like that, in cockroach also, the salivary gland functions in the same way. So the pharynx is then connected to the esophagus. So esophagus is nothing but the food pipe which carries the food particles into the stomach. So it is the narrow tubular passage which allows the movement of the food, and that esophagus, it connects to the crop. So like how the esophagus in a human body is connected to the stomach, just like that, in the case of cockroach, the stomach is nothing but a crop, which is a sac-like structure that mainly helps in storing food. So they are sac-like structures, they mainly help in storing food, and the food passes from the esophagus into the crop region. So this crop is connected to one more region called as the gizzard, which is also called as proventriculus. So in the gizzard, actually, the gizzard has an outer layer which is made up of thick circular muscles, and towards the inside of the gizzard, it is covered by a thick cuticle. So that is the thick circular muscles and the thick cuticle that is being present, it forms a 6 highly chitinous plate-like structures called as the teeth. So the gizzard actually functions like a teeth as well. So any food particles which remains which is not broken down by the cockroach in the mouth region, that will be broken down by the gizzard region. So the gizzard, that is in the gizzard, there is presence of 6 highly chitinous plate-like structures, which is externally covered by thick circular muscles and internally covered by thick cuticle. They actually they act like a teeth, therefore helping in grinding the particles into even finer piece. So the food particles will get grinded to even finer piece by the gizzard. So the main function of the gizzard is to help in grinding the food particles. And then next to the gizzard is present the hepatic caecae, which are hair-like structures, and next to the hepatic caecae is present the mesenteron or the mid-gut. So before to that, the gizzard is also called as the proventriculus. Why? Because the gizzard, it acts like a flap or it acts like a barrier wherein it will allow the passage of the food particles from the crop to the mid-gut, but it will not carry back the food particles from the mid-gut to the crop. Like even we also, whenever we eat food, the food moves from the esophagus into the stomach. Will the food that is present in the stomach move back into the esophagus? No. That only happens when there is a problem in the flap present between the esophagus and the stomach, right? Just like that, in cockroaches also, between the crop and the midgut, there is a structure called as the gizzard, which is also called as proventriculus, that not only functions like a teeth which helps in grinding the food particles, but also the proventriculus, it prevents the entry of the food from the midgut to the crop. So it will close the flap. So once the food moves from the crop into the midgut, it will close the flap. So that is a function of the proventriculus. So next comes the mesenteron or the midgut. So the mesenteron or the midgut, that is present in the cockroach. So at the junction of the midgut and the hindgut, there is presence of some filamentous like structures, that is, there is presence of a ring of 100 to 150 yellow colored thin filamentous structures which are called as the Malpighian tubules. And the main function of the Malpighian tubules, so as you can see here, this is a intestine-like structure which is divided into the midgut and the hindgut. So we have the midgut that is present at the middle, and right after the midgut is present the hindgut. So between the midgut and the hindgut, if you can see tubular-like structures here, right? So these tubular-like structures are called as the Malpighian tubules. So these Malpighian tubules, the main function, so it is yellow in color, and it is usually 100 to 150 Malpighian tubules are being present. So around 100 to 150 Malpighian tubules are being present, and the main function of the Malpighian tubules is to remove the excretory waste or the excretory products from the hemolymph of the cockroach. So as you can see, below the gizzard is present. The gizzard extends towards the midgut and then the hindgut. Between the midgut and the hindgut is present some around 100 to 150 yellow colored tubular-like structures called as the Malpighian tubules, and these Malpighian tubules actually help in the elimination of the waste product. So that is the main function of the Malpighian tubule. So next, the hindgut. When compared to the midgut, the hindgut is broader than the midgut, and it is again divided into different parts, or it is differentiated into ileum, colon and the rectum. So as you can see here, all these, that is the ileum, colon and the rectum, all these together they form the hindgut. So hindgut, as you can see, it is a bit broader. So this region, the hindgut, it is a bit broader when compared to the midgut, and it is mainly differentiated into three important parts, that is the ileum, the colon, that is the intestinal region, and the rectum, that is the anal region. So these are the different regions of the alimentary canal, that is especially the hindgut of the cockroach. So these are the different parts that the cockroach consists in the alimentary canal, that is the pharynx, the esophagus, the crop, the gizzard, the hepatic caecae, then comes the midgut, the Malpighian tubules that is present between the midgut and the hindgut, and in the hindgut again it is divided into three important parts, that is the ileum, the colon and the rectum. So next, moving on to the open circulatory system or the heart of the cockroach. So the blood vascular system or the open circulatory system of cockroach, it is of open type. As the name itself suggests, the circulatory system or the movement of blood in cockroach is of open type. So previously while studying about animal kingdom, I had told you about the open circulatory system and closed circulatory system, right? So if it is an open circulatory system, like how we human beings, say for examples, we human beings, we have a closed circulatory system. So in closed circulatory system, there are veins, auricles and all that, or arteries and all that, which carry blood to specific body parts, right? But in the case of open circulatory system, there is no veins or veinlets, nothing like that being present. So therefore the blood just like that, it enters into the body, and all the organs will be bathed in that particular or dipped in that particular blood, right? So therefore just the cockroach also has an open circulatory system. So the circulation of blood in cockroach is of open type. It has an open circulatory system. And why? Because the blood vessels are poorly developed, and it opens into spaces called as the hemocoel. So hemo means something related to the blood. Coel means cavity. So they open into the cavity, and in that cavity itself all the organs will be present, which will be drained in the blood, or it will be completely covered by blood, because there is nothing like a perfect circulatory system in this particular case. And the visceral organs, they are that whatever organs that are present inside the body of the cockroach, they are usually bathed in a pool of blood. So I told you, if it is raining heavily, then all the plants will be bathed in a pool of blood, right? But the same thing, if you send water through a pipe, then only the plant which you want, you can water, right? So that is the difference here. Same way, if it is a closed type of circulatory system, only the organs, each organ will have its own vein and veinlets through which the blood will transfer, will be carried from the heart. But if it is the open type, what happens? All the organs, just like that, it will bathe inside the body, that is inside the hemocoel. So such a system is called as the hemolymph. So the visceral organs that are located in the hemocoel, that is the cavity of the cockroach, they are bathed in the blood, and therefore it is called as the hemolymph. And the hemolymph, it is usually made up of a colorless plasma and hemocytes. So we human beings also, one of the component of the blood is the white blood cells, the red blood cells and the plasma, right? Just like that, in cockroach also, the hemolymph, it is made up of colorless plasma, and also it is made up of hemocytes. So like how we have leukocytes, erythrocytes and all that, they have the hemocytes in them. And the heart of the cockroach, it is usually made up of elongated muscular tubular structures, and they are present at the mid dorsal line of the thorax and the abdomen. So somewhere they are present at the dorsal region, that is at the upper surface of the cockroach, but in the middle they are present, that is in the thorax and the abdomen region. The heart of the cockroach is usually present at the middle of the dorsal region, that is at the mid dorsal line of the thorax and the abdomen. And the heart is differentiated into funnel shaped chambers with ostia on either side. So they have bone like structures or ostia on either side, and the heart is differentiated into a funnel like chambers. And the blood that from the sinuses enter into the heart through ostia, and it is pumped anteriorly to the sinuses again. So it leaves the chamber through the ostia, and then it is pumped back again into the chamber. So that is the open circulatory system that is present in a cockroach. So you can see the chambers of the heart that are present in a cockroach, and this is the anterior aorta that is present, and the alary muscles that are present, and the circulatory system in the case of cockroach, it is a open type of circulatory system. So this is about the circulatory system in the case of cockroach. So next, moving on to the respiratory system. So the respiratory system consists of a network of trachea. So these trachea actually open through 10 pairs of small holes which are called as spiracles. So these spiracles are usually present on the lateral side of the body of the cockroach. So like how we have a network, that is we have the lungs which has a branch like structures called alveoli and all that, right? The cockroaches, they also have a network of trachea being present. The respiratory system of cockroach, it is especially made up of network or connectivities of trachea, and these trachea actually they open into 10 pairs of small holes which are called as spiracles. So these spiracles are usually present or at the lateral, that is at the sides of the cockroach body. The respiratory organs, that is spiracles, are being present. And the thin branching, that is the tracheal tubes, because I told you the respiratory system consists of network of trachea. So therefore they look like branches. So these thin branches or these thin tracheal tubes, they are again subdivided into tracheoles, like how we have alveoli, alveolus, right? In the lungs, just like that, these thin branchings or the tracheal branchings, they are further divided. So the respiratory system consists of tracheal branching. These tracheal branchings are again divided into tracheoles, and these tracheoles, they carry the oxygen from the air to all the other parts of the cockroach, like how we have alveoli, right, which carries the air to different parts. Just like that, the cockroach have tracheoles which carry the air from the external environment or from the air to the different parts of the cockroach. And the opening that is present of the spiracle, it is regulated by the sphincter muscle. So the opening of the spiracle, so I told you that is there are small holes that are being present, right? That is the trachea open into small holes. So there are about 10 pairs of small holes being present. So these holes actually contract and retract, or they open and close. So how do they open and close, or how do they contract and retract? By the sphincter muscles that are being present. So there are the opening of the spiracle. What are spiracles? They are nothing but the 10 pairs of holes that are being present at the ends of the trachea. So these trachea and the tracheoles, they have holes, especially the trachea have holes called as spiracles. These spiracles, they open and close. The opening and closing or contraction and relaxation of the spiracle is controlled by the sphincter muscle, and the exchange of gases takes place in the tracheoles by diffusion process. So this is how the tracheoles are the ones which are mainly responsible for the exchange of gases to take place, and also once the oxygen is inside the tracheoles, it supplies the oxygen to different parts of the body, and whatever the movement of the air and all that is controlled by the sphincter muscle. So this is about the respiratory system of the cockroach. So next, moving on to the nervous system of the cockroach. So the nervous system is actually made up of several fused and segmentally arranged structures called as ganglia, and these ganglia are connected by longitudinal connectives to the which are present on the ventral side. So the nervous system actually are made up of structures called as ganglia, and these ganglia are connected to one another are paired to one another on the ventral side of the cockroach, that is on the lower side of the cockroach. So as you can see here, there are the ganglion being present. So it is present in the mesothoracic segment. So they extend the nervous system of the cockroach actually extends right from the head towards the abdomen region of the cockroach, but the ganglia are usually present at the prothoracic, the mesothoracic and the metathoracic region. That is, I told you the thorax of the cockroach is divided into 3 different regions, right? So that is the prothoracic, the mesothoracic and the metathoracic. So in all these regions, the ganglions are usually present, and the ganglions, they form a network which is present on the ventral side, and they're connected to the ventral side of the cockroach. So 3 ganglia lie in the thoracic region, and the 6 of the other lies in the abdomen region. So in the the first three ganglia, they lie in the thoracic region, that is in the prothoracic, mesothoracic and the metathoracic region, and rest of the ganglia that are being present, they are present in the abdominal region. And the nervous system of cockroach is spread throughout the body. As I told you, right from the head, it extends up to the abdomen. It is present throughout the body. The ganglia are present only in the thoracic and the abdominal region. And the head of the cockroach, it holds a little bit of the nervous system, while the rest of the nervous system is situated along the ventral part of its body. That is, why ventral part? Because the ganglia and all are connected to one another in the ventral part itself, right? So in the ventral part, in the head, a little bit of the nervous system is present, but remaining of the entire nervous system of the cockroach is present in the ventral part, that is in the thoracic and the abdomen region, that is in the belly side of the cockroach. So this is the belly side of the cockroach, and that is why the head of the cockroach, even though the head of the cockroach is cut off, the cockroach can still live for several weeks. Why? Because the majority of the nervous system is present in the thoracic and the abdominal region. So that is one of the peculiar characteristics of the cockroach. So therefore, why can a cockroach survive even without its head for few weeks, especially for up to a week or 1 week? It is because majority of the nervous system in a cockroach is present in the thoracic and the abdominal region. That is why. And in the head region, the brain of the cockroach is usually, it consists of a supraesophageal ganglion, and this supraesophageal ganglion, it is the one which actually supplies all the nerves to the antenna and the compound eye. So in the head region, there is the antennary nerve, that is the nerve which connects the antenna. Then is present the brain, that is the supraesophageal ganglion. So in the brain region, actually the supraesophageal ganglion is present, and it is from this supraesophageal ganglion, which is nothing but the brain, the connectivity of the nerve towards the antenna and the optic nerve, that is related to the eyes, that is the compound eyes of the cockroach. All the nerves starts from the brain region, that is the supraesophageal ganglion, and it extends or forms a connectivity between the antenna and the eyes of the cockroach. So this is about the nervous system of cockroach. So next, moving on to the sense organs. So there are some sense organs that are present in the cockroach, right? Like the antenna, the eyes, all that. So we shall study about each of these one by one. So the sense organs of cockroach are nothing but the antennae, which are the sensory receptors, then the eyes, then the maxillary palps, that is the ones which are present in the mouth, then the labial palps, which are nothing but the lips, the upper lip and the lower lip, and the anal cerci. So all these are the sense organs that are present in the cockroach. And eyes, when I talk about the sense organ of the cockroach, that is the eyes of the cockroach is compound. So the compound eyes are usually situated on the dorsal surface of the head, which we have already seen in the previous slides or previous session. And each eye, it consists of about 2000 hexagonal ommatidia. So they're made up of structures which are hexagonal in shape, like you might have seen a bee eye, right? Like how it looks like a lens, just like that. Here the compound eyes of cockroach, it is made up of 2000 hexagonal shaped structures called as the ommatidia. And these ommatidia actually helps the cockroaches to frame a image. So these ommatidia, that is about 2000 ommatidia that are present in the compound eye of the cockroach, they actually help a cockroach to receive several images of an object. So therefore, it is compound eyes which can receive several images because it has about 2000 hexagonal ommatidia. So imagine if 2000 ommatidias are present, maybe 2000 images the cockroach can get of a particular object. So that is one of the peculiar features of the compound eyes that are present in a cockroach. And this kind of vision is known as the mosaic vision. So it receives small images, and these images, why? Because 2000 umatidias are present. So why? Because 2000 umatidias are present, and this kind of vision wherein the cockroach can see one image as several small images, it is known as mosaic vision. Just like mosaic, like how a mosaic tile looks like, just like that, small images, one image itself, it appears in small images to the eyes of the cockroach. So such vision is called as a mosaic vision, and this kind of vision has more sensitivity but a lesser resolution. So the resolution is very less, but sensitivity is quite more, and it is especially this kind of vision is common during the night. That is why the cockroaches, their vision are more sensitive and more reliable during the night time. That is why the cockroaches are usually nocturnal, because they can usually see very well during the night time. So that is why they are nocturnal. So this is about the sense organs of cockroach. So next, moving on to the reproductive system of cockroach. So the reproduction in the case of cockroach is dioecious. That is, the male cockroach is different and the female cockroach is different. So I told you in the previous sessions how we can differentiate between a male and a female cockroach. So the male reproductive system are also located in the abdominal region, and the female reproductive system is also located in the abdominal region, but the segments that they are located in vary. So we shall study about them. So the reproduction in the case of male cockroach, the male reproductive system of cockroach is made up of different parts. So we shall study about each part one by one. So in the male, the cockroaches, the sperms are the reproductive or the reproductive structures that are being present. So the sperms are usually stored in structures called as seminal vesicles. So where are these seminal vesicles present? They are present in testes. So like how human beings also have testes which contain seminal vesicles wherein the sperms are being produced, just like that in the cockroach also the sperms are stored in special structures called as the seminal vesicles, and these seminal vesicles are, they are small sac-like structures. They are glued together or they are joined together in the form of bundles which are called as spermatophores. So what are spermatophores? The seminal vesicles containing sperms which are joined together to form a group called as the spermatophores, and these spermatophores are the ones which discharge the sperm during the mating time or during the copulation. So this is one of the important organs that are present in the male reproductive system or in the male cockroach, wherein it consists of the seminal vesicles which together form a spermatophores, and these spermatophores help in the liberation or the ejection of the sperms during the mating or the copulation period of the cockroach. So next, the cockroach consists of the testes. So testes, one lying on each lateral side of the fourth and the sixth abdominal segment. So remember, while talking about the morphology, I told you the cockroach body is divided into segments, right? And in the female, the reproductive structures are present in few of the segments, different segments they are being present in the male and the female. So one of the main reproductive organ in the case of male cockroaches is the presence of the testes. So testes again here are present in pairs. That is, two testes are being present and each testis is present on either side, that is on the lateral side, and they are present on the fourth and the sixth segment. So in the abdomen of the cockroach, the fourth and the sixth sterna or the fourth and the sixth abdominal segment consists of a pair of testes wherein each testis is located on the lateral side of the cockroach body. After the testis comes a mushroom-shaped gland which is being present in the sixth and the seventh segment. So there is a gland called as the phallic gland or the conglobate gland which is present, which is mushroom shaped. So as you can see here, they are shaped like a mushroom. So they are mushroom shaped, they are shaped like a mushroom and they are present in the sixth and the seventh abdominal segment, and the main function of this phallic gland or the conglobate gland, which looks like a mushroom, it acts like a accessory reproductive gland. That is, they secrete the glands that are needed for the proper reproductive process or the reproductive structures to develop. So that is the function of the mushroom shaped gland, that is the phallic gland and the conglobate gland. So next to this, so from each testis there is a structure called as the vas deferens. So the vas deferens is the one which actually carries the sperms. In the testis there is presence of seminiferous tubules. These seminiferous tubules come together or group together to form the spermatophores. In the spermatophores the sperms are being present. So the sperms during the ejaculation process, they need to pass through a tube-like structure, right? So that is nothing but the vas deferens. So each testis consists of a thin tube-like structure called as vas deferens, which opens into the ejaculatory duct through the seminal vesicle. So therefore, it helps in carrying of the sperms. And next to that, so you can see here the presence of the vas deferens. So they are small tube-like structures. So these tube-like structures are the ones which forms a connectivity between the testis and to that of the seminal vesicle. Therefore, it helps in carrying of the sperm. So next, that is ejaculatory duct. So it forms a connectivity between the ejaculatory duct, that is the testis and the ejaculatory duct, because the sperms will move through this vas deferens, and then through the vas deferens it will enter into the ejaculatory duct, and then it will come out of the male cockroach body during the copulation period. So that is the main function of this. And next to the ejaculatory duct, it actually opens into the male gonopore. So if you remember, the gonopores and all are present in the 9th and the 10th segment, right? If you remember the previous session. So the ejaculatory duct, it actually opens into the male gonopore, which is situated ventral to the anus. That is, it is situated on the lower side of the body towards the anus. So we have the gonapore or the gonaphysis or phallomeres or the gonapore, which actually continues from the ejaculatory duct. And next, there is one more structure present in the reproductive system of cockroach, that is the external genitalia. So this external genitalia, it consists of the male gonapophysis, which is also called as the phallomeres, and these especially it is present only in the male, that is the gonapophysis or the phallomeres, they are present only in the male, it is not present in the female. This way we can, so this part, it is actually chitinous in nature. It is made up of chitin. It is very hard, and it is the chitinous asymmetrical structures which surrounds the male gonaphophore. So if you can see here, it surrounds the gonaphophore region. So the ejaculatory duct extends into the gonaphore region, and on either side of the gonaphore region, you can see a tube-like structure which is made up of a chitinous structure, which actually is present only in the male region, and this chitinous structure, which is nothing but the external genitalia. So the external genitalia are represented by male gonapophysis or phallomere, which are nothing but chitinous structures that are present. So this is the reproductive system of the cockroach, that is male reproductive system. So next, moving on to the female reproductive system. So in female reproductive system, a pair of spermatheca is present. In the case of male, a pair of testes was present, right? But in the case of female, a pair of spermatheca is present in the 6th segment, and this spermatheca actually opens into the genital chamber. And male cockroaches, the testes will produce the sperms, right? But in the female, it is the presence of the ovary. The ovary will produce the ovules or the egg, and 2 large ovaries. So how testis was one of the important reproductive organ in the male cockroach. In the case of female cockroach, it is the ovary. So there are, like how there were 2 large testes being present on the lateral side. Here two large ovaries are present which extends from the second and the sixth abdominal segment. I'm talking only about the abdominal segment. So it is present in the abdomen. It extends from the second and the sixth. So you can see here, this is one ovary and this is one more ovary. So these ovary extends from the second segment up to the sixth segment. The ovaries are present, a pair, that is on each lateral side, one ovary is being present. And each ovary, it is formed by a group of 8 ovarian tubules. There the seminiferous tubules were present, right? These seminiferous tubules paired or grouped together to form the spermatophore in the case of male. But here ovaries are present. Each ovary, they group together to form 8 ovarian tubules, or it is called as the ovules. So this together, it is called as the ovules. So the ovaries, they group together to form ovules, and they contain chain of developing ova or the egg. So the ova or the egg. So they produce chains of developing ova or the egg. So a female can lay many number of eggs. So these, because they are presence of 8 ovules therefore. And after that is present the oviduct region. So the oviducts of each ovary, they unite. So I told you there are ovary is made up of many duct-like structures or oviducts, which are ovarian tubules, which are called as the ovules. So all these oviducts of each ovary, they come together and they join or unite in one particular region, which is join into a single median oviduct, which is called as the vagina. So as you can see here, all these come together and join to form a common vaginal region. So they form a common vaginal region and it opens into the genital chamber. So this vaginal region opens into the genital chamber. So this is the female reproductive structure of the cockroach. So next, moving on to the fertilization. So now the testis will, in the testis, the seminiferous tubules or the spermatheca will produce, spermatophore will produce the sperms, and in the female cockroach, the ovary will produce the ovules or the egg. So both the sperm and the egg are ready. So once the male and the female meet or mate together, or once copulation occurs, the sperms will be inserted into the female reproductive structure. Therefore, the fertilization has to take place. So the sperms are transferred to the spermatophores as I had explained earlier. And once the sperms are transferred to the spermatophores and it enters or it is ejaculated into the female reproductive system, the eggs are fertilized. So the fertilized eggs will be encased or it will be covered by capsule-like structures which are called as oothecae. So as you can see here, inside the eggs are being present. As you can see, inside the eggs are being present. These eggs are covered by, or they are encysted, or they are covered by structures which are called as the oothecae. So this is nothing but oothecae. So overall, it is called as the oothecae. Inside the oothecae, the fertilized eggs will be present. So oothecae, they are usually dark reddish or blackish in color, and they form a brown capsule, and they are about 8 millimeter in length. So you can see here, they are either reddish or dark brown in color, and they are very hard, and inside these the fertilized eggs. So as you can see here, all these are the eggs that are present, which are being fertilized by the male sperm. So inside the fertilized eggs are being present, and they are long, that is 8 millimeter long, and they help in protecting the eggs, and they are that is the fertilized ovules or the ovary. So they are called as the ootheca, and they usually, you can find this oothecae almost everywhere in the window crevices, anywhere the cockroach usually will lay the eggs. So they are dropped or glued to a suitable surface, and sometimes when you're cleaning the house, when you find a oothecae like this, it is very hard to remove it, right? It is very hard. How much ever you just take a stick and try to poke it, it is so hard as if it is glued to the surface. So it is dropped or glued to a suitable surface. Usually they are dropped in cracks or any surfaces or any holes or anywhere in the house, especially where the relative humidity is very, very high, and wherever there is a food source. So therefore, majority we either find it inside the book cupboards, the kitchen shelves and all that. We find it because books, clothes, and all the kitchen stuffs and all are the food for the cockroach, right? And if we take on an average, the female can produce about 9 to 10 UTK, and each will contain 14 to 16 eggs inside. So inside the UTK, there are presence of 14 to 16 eggs will usually be present, and a number of that is about 9 to 10 UTK are usually produced, and about 14 to 16 eggs will be present inside the UTK. So this is about the fertilization. So once the fertilization is done, the eggs will be hatched, which is nothing but the UTK will be put out of the body into the environment. Inside the UTK, the fertilized eggs will be present. Now the fertilized egg should develop into young cockroaches. So how it will happen, we shall see. So the development of Periplaneta americana, which is nothing but the common cockroach, it is porometabolous. So what is this porometabolous? So porometabolous means there is development through nymphal stage. So while talking about the animal kingdom, one chapter that is animal kingdom, I kept on mentioning now and then, that is I was telling about a indirect development. So what was happening in the indirect development? The young organisms would enter into a larval stage, like the say for example the butterfly, they have an indirect development, right? The egg, then comes the pupa, then comes the larvae and all that. Just like that here also, the cockroach, the development of the cockroach is indirect, and that particular development is called as the porometabolous development. So porometabolous development means the cockroach will not directly develop into an adult. First it will enter into a nymphal stage, and then the nymphs are the ones which develops into an adult. But the nymphs, they actually look very much alike like adults. But remember, in indirect development, what happens? Say for example, frog. So frog, the indirect development, in between there is a tadpole stage. Does the tadpole look like a frog? No, it looks like a fish, right? But that development is indirect. But in this case, the development is indirect, wherein there is a nymphal stage, but the only difference is the nymphs actually look like an adult cockroach itself. So that is why such a development is called as porometabolous development. And the nymphs, they usually grow by molting, that is, they shed their skin about 13 times until they start to look like an adult. So once they reach the adult form, they will start to molt, that is, they will start to shed the skin. So they will molt about 13 times, they will molt, and then only they will reach the adult stage. And the last nymphal stage, in the last nymphal stage, the wings will start to develop in the cockroach, but only the adult will have the wings. So though the wings will start to develop in the last nymphal stage, the wings are of no use. It is just like wing-like structures will develop, but only the adults will usually have the wings present in them. So we have the egg of the cockroach. So inside the capsule is present, numerous eggs are being present. Those eggs will develop into nymphal stage, and that is, these nymphs, they will shed their skin or they will molt for about 13 times, and in the last nymphal stage they will develop wing-like structures, and once they enter into the adult stage, they will develop complete wings which can be utilized for flying around. So this is the life cycle of the cockroach. So in this particular session, we studied about the anatomy of cockroach, wherein we studied about the alimentary canal of cockroach, the circulatory system of cockroach, the respiratory system, the excretory system, then the sense organs that are present, and also we studied about the fertilization and the developmental stages of the cockroach. So I hope you understood this session very well. In the next coming session, we shall study about the morphology and anatomy of frog. So we shall meet in the coming session. Thank you.